What's up YouTube, Capital G here. Got a couple of crazy and wildly entertaining duels for you guys to check out, including this first duel which had me saying, what in the Kappa? You guys are looking at a Stardust Assault Mode invoked build, which is, I mean, what even is that? It definitely looks really interesting on paper. You guys can tell by the opening hand, this is a blind go second build, which I actually think is perfectly fine. I don't think that invoke should go first anymore. The days of a Merkaba pass being like good in the meta and stopping decks, like those days are done. Decks can put up way too many disruptions and negates for invoked to kind of just live on one Merkaba. So I really feel like invoke should go second. However, Stardust Assault Mode generally wants to go first, and you put up the Stardust Assault Mode with a couple of disruptions, it's pretty good. But we'll see exactly how this is going to shake out, especially against the deck that might have the highest ceiling in Yu-Gi-Oh, which is Pendulum. Now he's running a Pendulum Edition build, not super reliant on the Zephyrs, but it doesn't matter. Pens always have a super high ceiling, so let's see what he's going to do. He has no hand traps, so everything will go completely unopposed, and looks like he's going to be able to have 5 monsters on board fairly easily, go into those Guard Dragon plays. Okay, this is all basic elementary stuff. Summons Vortex, summons Erratic Seal. Maybe he might go into FA Don Dragster. No, actually goes into the BLS link, which, I mean, that's interesting to say the least, but he still has Jackal, which is online. I think it's a pretty decent board. He has Vortex, he has the Erratic Seal, also has the Jackal, but we all know how powerful Super Polymerization can be. So, he's actually not going to go Super Poly. He's going to open up with Hornet Drones for Kagari, get the drones back. I think he's willing to see, or just kind of trying to bait out some of the negation before he throws out his big gun. So he is going to go into the Alistair Link monster. Now he's going to go for instant fusion. I thought maybe he was going to go Thousand Eyes Restrict, but instead he's actually going to go different routes. He is going to go ahead and chain because it looks like he wants to activate the Alistair Link. Then his opponent says, I'm going to use Heavenly Spears. He says, well, I'm going to use Invoke Raijin to target your Jackal King. That basically say that you have to use Jackal King right here and now. And look what he's actually going to do. He's going to Super Poly, but it's not the Super Poly play you think. You think maybe, okay, Cap, he's going to use the mythical Jackal King. He's going to go ahead and use the Vortex Dragon, maybe go into the Predaplant monster. No, he's actually going to go into something different. He's actually going to discard and go into the invoked Lyceum. This is a really powerful card, especially considering it can banish every monster your opponent has. So he actually ended up summoning that, which I hardly ever see that thing summon. He's going to summon off the Invoke monster, tries to go for his copy of Aether. He's trying to target, but Invoke dude ain't having that. He's banishing everything. And now, since he still has that normal summon, he can simply go for the Psy Reflector, which is a 1-card Stardust Assault mode. I love Psy Reflector so much, man. I love it so much. Just a 1-card Stardust Assault mode. Gets in some clean damage right there. And he still has his invocation for his next turn. He's going to activate Omega Summon and actually bring this guy back from the graveyard, which means that anytime his opponent tries to do a big pendulum summon during this turn, he can simply just get rid of that. He gave him more life points because why not, but he's going to summon 3 monsters, say bye-bye to your monsters, bye-bye, they're all gone, and now he's staring down the Stardust Assault mode. He's going to just go ahead and scoop it up. That was actually, I'm not going to lie, that was pretty sick. I am working on a Stardust Assault mode build, and my build might not be as good as this, so we might have to use this as the blueprint for our Stardust Assault mode build. Maybe it's going to end up being invoked. I'll show you guys the deck list in a minute. Second duel is going to be SHS versus Burning Abyss. SHS, obviously, super heavy samurai, and Burning Abyss open up pretty well. I mean, it's not like the greatest turn one play. I think he's going to go for some Orcus plays, using the copy of Ash Blossom to stop him from summoning or really sending another BA monster to the graveyard, but he's still going to be able to activate the graph, and he's still going for some pretty good plays. Obviously, Orcus combos will get you at least a crescendo, and he has Imperial Order, which, I mean, against a deck like Sky Striker, this would have been a free win, maybe even against Pendulums, but against SHS, not gonna happen. The only spell card they play in the entire deck is Sekka's Light. The problem is, even if you stop Sekka's Light, they don't care. They're just going to use the graveyard effect anyway. So he's going to go ahead and use that Soul Piercer. Now he can actually go ahead and use the Samurai Thief, and that's actually going to stop the copy of Orchestrated Climax from ever activating, because it actually steals the card. I personally just would have used it, if nothing else, get it in the graveyard so I can get my Rhoda effect from it during the next turn, but he decided not to use it, which may have actually just been a mistake. He is going to pass turn after attacking with his gloves here, and his opponent thinks, Cap G, I got this guy, I'm about to go for game, I got an open board. I know Crescendo, as the card said, but Super Heavy Samurai, man, people don't know what these cards do, and it's a very, very tricky deck. So he goes for Decode Talker just to have a little more damage on board. I thought he was going to go Boros War Dragon, but no, he did not go Boros War Dragon. It's fine because the Wee Witch's Apprentice is buffing up his monsters, and he has a 4600 Decode Talker, which, I mean, you don't generally see that. So it looks like he is easily able to go for game, but not quite. These Super Heavy Samurai monsters, unless you play this deck, you don't know about him. He's going to activate gloves from the graveyard, and now since he did end up revealing an SHS monster, his opponent's monster that was attacking goes to 0 attack. By the way, that's non-targeting, so he loses 4600 damage and cannot actually game him. So that was quite unfortunate, and he has once again the Thief. He's probably going to use that. Samurai Thief tries to steal. This time he does not make the same mistake. He is going to go ahead and take it, but it don't even matter because your boy is going straight to that Susono Wu, the level 10 Synchro monster for SHS, which has a staggering 3800 attack. By the way, that 0 attack is that debuff, it's permanent too. So Decode Talker is never going to be a threat. Now all he has to do is just get himself to search the hand card. I forget what its name is, but this is basically the Honest of SHS, the Gauntlet, and it's gonna be able probably to smack Decode Talker upside the head. I would not be surprised if he just one-shot him here. There's almost no chance he's going to survive this attack, and Imperial Order pretty much was the nail in the coffin because he ended up losing 1400 life points, I believe, because he paid for that. So he's going to attack. His defense becomes doubled, and obviously SHS monsters attack using their defense and damage calculation. So his defense was 7600, and he was basically attacking him directly because Decode Talker had 0 attacks. So he gets one shot, and Imperial Order basically did nothing that game. I mean, it did stop him from drawing 2, but in the end, against SHS, it just doesn't do anything. Anyways, let's pause for a second and check out that invoked Stardust Assault Mode build. Alright, this is what the deck list looks like on paper, and as I predicted, this is a blind go second build of Invoke Stardust Assault Mode. I thought there was some dead giveaways, the fact that it was running Super Polys and also like Instant Fusion in the main deck. Those are kind of like go second cards, plus Invoked is really just kind of a go second build. But now you look at the build and you see like the Mech Knights, those obviously just kind of work if you're going second, and the Dino Wrestler Pegatrops. What I really like is, you know, when I pointed to this in a couple of my videos, to really take advantage of Stardust Assault Mode, you don't need that many cards. I mean, you see right here, really just Reflector kind of being the main card. You could even cut your Reflector down, and you could play Emergency Teleport because this will summon Reflector straight from your deck, and it does not use your normal summon. So hypothetically, you could still use Alistair, and you could go Reflector in the same turn. I probably would do something like that, like just play 2 Reflector and then throw in like the 1 teleport, because Emergency Teleport is still limited to 1 if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, you really just need kind of like the Assault Beast, and then the Assault Mode activates. I think that if you draw like multiple of these cards, like if you draw Assault Mode activates and Assault Beast, that's the only way that it kind of like breaks. But as long as you don't draw multiples of them, if you really just get to the 1 Reflector, I kind of feel like everything works. I was surprised to see 3 copies of Omega Summon, because I kind of feel like I mean, the Invoke cards do have disruption, like Invoke Raijin is not terrible, being the Book of Moon, Invoke Macabre, summoning that back obviously is strong, but if you can get this guy back, if you could even summon it to begin with, obviously we saw what it did in that duel, being able to activate its effect, banish all your opponent's monsters. It's such a big beater as well. It can obviously be pretty strong. I don't know if I would play this card in multiples, but definitely feels like it could be a powerful trap card. Maybe you want to go for like there can only, a lot of Invoke builds play, if they're gonna play a trap, they play like there can only be 1 against like Salamangreats and stuff like that, if they happen to make you go first. And then this card, lastly, the World Legacy Secrets, I believe that this can even summon like Stardust Dragon from the graveyard. So on the chance that, I don't know, actually, yeah, in the chance that your Stardust Dragon ends up like dying, maybe your opponent blows up, you're like, you never get to Stardust Assault mode or something like that, or even if you have it, this is a way of summoning Stardust Dragon back from the grave. This can also summon down a Wrestler Pankatrops. Obviously, it summons the Mech Knight monsters, but just some more value for your plays.